Yo, what is going on? I haven't done a video in a good minute, but we're gonna go with some basics today. I have uploaded a tutorial for TradingView in Spanish, and now I'm gonna upload a new updated version for English. All right, so we're gonna have our tutorial on this gold market right here. Right, I'm gonna start with some basics so you can familiarize yourself and you can familiarize yourself with how to use these charts when you're in the app or when you're on your laptop, computer, tablet, whatever it may be. This is going to be a good video to reference for any new person that is learning how to trade or is brand new to trading, because knowing how to use these charts and knowing how to use the tools is going to be your best friend in studying and like going over the history of what happened in the market and this and that and the other. All right, so first things first, up here in your top left hand corner, you have your time frames. Um, when you first log in, these are not going to be favorited, but take a minute and pause the video and favorite these time frames, because these are the ones that we're going to be using together. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 1 month. So the first things first about these time frames is that they all work together. You know, whatever you see on the monthly time frame, you also see on the weekly. There's just more data broken down. You know, now you're seeing on the daily, more data broken down. 4 hour time frame, more data broken down. 1 hour time frame, and so on and so forth. So all these time frames work together, and in different videos, you're gonna learn how to use these time frames together. But for now, favorite those. And as you can see, every time that you see me switching the time frame, you notice I'm always adjusting my screen. Always get into the habit of adjusting your screen when you switch into time frames, because you want to be able to see the full data of your page. All right, so we'll go to the monthly. This is what I mean by if you want to see the full data. Um, you want to see like a decent amount of candles, and you don't want these candles to be too zoomed in or too wide like that. You actually want to see a good amount of data and keep the current price is always going to be this white dotted line. It might be a different color if you just opened the website and just made a new account, but every time that you're on a time frame, you want to fit it with your screen. All right. So I'm going to go to the weekly. You see how this is all spread out? I'm going to squeeze it up a little bit and expand it. This makes the chart, the bars taller, and this squeezes and expands it. All right. So I always like to put my chart in the middle of the screen, and I can see the detail of each block that's in my chart. So going to the daily now. As an example of how you would want your chart to look like if you're on a daily time frame. On a phone screen is the same thing. Don't overcomplicate it. It's not going to be as a big screen as my screen, but it's the same thing. You just want to see enough data in your screen, and you're going to make it taller and shorter, adjusting it by this right-hand corner right here, adjusting it. And this bottom, you can adjust it right here from these bottom where there's months right here and year. There's like a month and year column right here, and you could like adjust your screen that way. And then when you're clicking in the middle of the space, like when you're in the middle of the space, you can move your screen around. You put your finger in the middle of the screen basically, and you're just touching the empty space. That's what I'm basically doing. Yeah, you're able to move your screen around. Hit refresh. Second. There you go. So my screen like zoomed in for a second. All right, cool. So here on gold, talked about the time frames. You already know that every time you switch to a new time frame, you're supposed to adjust your screen. You notice how I'm on the 1 hour time frame, and I'm adjusting my screen. I'm dragging through the middle, and as I'm dragging, I'm adjusting it so I can see the details of each block. All right, it's not hard to do that. You might take some practice because you're new at first, but all right, so now we're gonna go to this left-hand corner right here. We got this cross. The cross is just so you can see a crosshair on my screen. Other than that, you don't really need none of these, or maybe eraser or dot, but it's the same thing. It's just to demonstrate where you're at the screen, basically. Go through this pretty quickly. You got tread line, pause, and favorite these tools, but you got tread line. For tread lines is just a tool like that. And we're going to be using tread lines, or you're going to be using tread lines when you see like equal highs or equal lows or something. Like, let me see an example of equal low or something like that. Let me see. Mm, like right here, equal lows. And then the market like went up a little bit from right here and then ripped through those equal lows, taking out these equal lows right here. You know, kind of played off from there. All right. So trend lines is good for identifying like equal lows and stuff like that. All right. So do that. Equal lows. Bam. All right. Every time you take out a tool, you will notice that it gives you a menu bar. These menu bars comes with settings. You can change the color of the bar, change it. Give me a second. Woo. Gracias. Change the color of the bar. I think you can, right? Yeah, you can. Change the color, put text with it. You put some money sign because equal lows is like resting money that the market likes to disrespect. So rip through there. So that's trend line. You got horizontal line. That's if like you want to mark a whole general area, like a whole little support area or something like that, or a resistance area. You want to mark areas like that. That's if you want to do that. So that's horizontal line. Now you got this. Now you have horizontal array. It's kind of the same concept, but it's just array instead of the whole line. So wherever you decide to place your line, it's just gonna finalize it right where you clicked it at, basically. And same thing, every tool comes with its own setting bar. So you're able to change the coordinate. Let's say you want exactly 2335.00. You could just type that in 2335.00. And almost every single tool has this feature where you can specifically type in a coordinate and it's going to move it exactly to that coordinate. Also, in the settings, just like I was showing you, you can change the color, you can add text to it. Like what's up? Or like something more appropriate, like 1 hour candle. I mean, 15-minute candle because we're on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah. And then when you can change the format of how you type that message. We'll put it on the left top. You can change the font. No, not the font. Fucking size of the text. You can bold it, italicize it. Just press OK. So right here, 15-minute candle marked out 2335.00. Right at the 15-minute candle right here. This black 15-minute candle. All right, bet. So Got the horizontal rate, favorite those. Now fib retracement. This tool, I'm gonna pull it out. We'll pull out this tool, and I want you guys to open it like this. It's called fib retracement. It's gonna be under Gann and Fibonacci. Take a moment and pause your video to look for it. Fib retracement, point A to point B. And take a moment to go to the settings when you pull it out, which is this little dot right here, and get this pause and get exactly how I have it here. Check mark that, check mark these, make sure you don't check mark the ones that are not check marked. You know what I'm saying? So pause and then pause again and get the ones down here. All right. Because we're going to be using this fib tool and it's not hard to use. All right. So what's next? So you're going to favorite this Fibonacci. Long position and short position, you're going to favorite that. This is a very useful tool, so you're able to see your risk to reward. Just don't know why it's giving it to me so small. All right. So a good teacher of mine once said that depending on how much points you're risking is not how much money you're going to be making or losing. It's your risk to reward that depends on how much money you're going to be making or losing. Oh, I see why it came out so small because we're on a 15-minute time frame. All right. So either way it goes, let's go to the 1 hour. Let me go to 1 hour time frame real quick. Not 4 hour, actually. All right. Now let's try it again. All right. That's more like it. All right. So I'm about to change the color to this so that it's not confusing for you guys. This is a long position tool right here, long position. And I'm going to change this to black. I'm going to change this to blue, like a darkish blue. All right. So basically with the long position tool, it's you're going to be able to tell your risk to reward ratio when you're in a trade. So let's say you're in a trade from right here, the market starts going up, all right? Then you close a trade up here after you got in right here, all right? You got in right there and you exit it right there. This tool helps you realize what your risk to reward was on that specific trade. So you got in, you're risking 37 points. I mean 375 points, I believe. We're on a 4 hour time frame, aren't we? Yeah, so that's don't worry about the points right now. Just let's just say this is 30 points. Risk 30 points, came into that area, then started uptrending from there. And that was a total risk to reward of a 1 to 4 because you're risking 30 points right here to make 90 points. All right, let's actually make that example happen here. So this is better. Long position, 90. I'm risking 30 points to make 90, basically. So that's what risk reward of 1 to 3 looks like. Risking 30 points to make 90. Just like I showed you in the example above, comes into that area. Let's say starts uptrending from there. You exit here. You got a trade that gave you a 1 to 3. So if you risk 1%, you're making 3% back. And I like to show my students how to trade big accounts. So that 3% gain is going to be like a big difference. All right. It's not just a small little 3% gain. You know, so 3% can be $3,000 depending on what account size you're trading. So long story short, that's the long position. When you pull it out, when you pull out the long position tool, it might come out crazy all the time, but it's okay. Just shrink your screen a little bit and adjust it. Shrink your screen a little bit, just adjust it. Just adjust it. This side, you're not able to squeeze it. You're just able to drag it from side to side. This is the side where you're able to squeeze your stop smaller and shorter. Okay. And this side too. And then this is your target. Your risk to reward is in the middle. When you're counting points, you typically want to discount the last decimal, the last number, depending on what time frame you're on. So you're on a 15-minute time frame, this tool is going to be counting smaller points since you're on the 15-minute time frame. If you're on a higher time frame, this 35 point box might be worth a lot more. Like, let's say we're on a monthly and I pull out the same long position tool, even though it's going to look the same size on our screen on the monthly time frame, but it's not the same size as in points and risk and movement. Because even though we're looking at the same size box, but since we're on the monthly time frame, this box is worth a lot more points. Like that's 3,003 points, and that's 728 points. We go back to the 15-minute time frame, and we pull out the same size box. This is what I mean. It's just a lot different because we're on a 15-minute time frame, a lot smaller time frame. So we can pull out the same size box basically, but it's going to be like a 30 point and a 90 point difference, like 90 point, 30 point. So there's 1 to 3 right here. There you go. Same size box basically, but different point because we're on a smaller time frame. So always keep that in mind when you're pulling out the long position and short position. Remove these drawings. So yeah, you want to favorite that long position. Uh, every time you pull it out, you want to fix it. If it comes out huge, you want to like shrink your screen, fix it. Go to the settings. Go to the settings right here. Profit background color. You can make it blue. Not too crazy of a blue. Make it like a light blue. Don't make it like a super dark blue. I mean, if you want, it kind of looks tough. It don't matter. I'm gonna actually keep it like that. And then for your stop, this one, stop background color, the second one, make it black. And settings, don't worry about none of that. Change the text to yellow so you can actually see the price, and put the opacity on 100. All right. So there's that. The same thing with short position. It's the same thing, but reverse. So short position means for selling. Long position means for buying. So if you're going to be in a long position, you're going to pull out. If you're going to be in a buy position, you're going to pull out a long position tool. And if you're on a sell, you're going to pull out a sell position tool. All right. This video is a little boring, but you're going to know how to use your tools after this video. And you can ask questions. You can ask questions when you're done watching the video. I'm about to make this video short though, so we're not too long in this. Question is that's for okay, I understand. All right, bet. So you see how it's reversed? So this is the example for the buys. Say you got into a buy right here, boom, and then it ends up doing the 1 to 3 free. You get out. Next thing you know, you're looking for another entry, but this time for sales in that same sequence, but later on, a whole another completely different day. Then you decide to get in right there, but this time you use your short position tool. So you need price to come into that area, into your area on a pullback. So you would enter right there on a sell, right? And then you would exit right there. All right. So that's the difference between a long, which is buying, and a short, which is selling. All right. So that's how you use those tools. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. With this, you want to pull out with the short position tool, you want to come to your settings, change it to black. I mean, change it to dark blue for the profit level. Profit level is the first box, profit background color, and then black for your stop loss. All right. So you can put it like that. Text, I like to put it yellow. That way you're able to see clearly what your risk to reward is. All right, I'm saying that's a 1 to 5 right there, risking 114 points to gain 590. You know. All right. So now that we talked about long position and short position, there's also a brush. Highlight that. That's what I was using to make all these markings. Use the arrow. Arrow is good to be showing things like identifying and showing, pointing things out. The same thing with the arrow. You're able to change the size of it, make it a thicker arrow. You can add text to it, I believe. You can change the color. You can change the opacity of it, make it disappear or make it a little, you can let me see if you can add some text to it too. Gonna add some text, you gotta go to the settings of that bar. Trade right here, change the font. Right there, you're playing around with, right? You can add an alert, but there you shouldn't be adding alerts to arrows anyways. Weird way to add an alert. Yeah. So that's the arrow text box. Good tool to have. Favorite that text box. Like when you're putting notes, you could put like New York open 9:30, or you can like I don't know, I don't know. You'll know what you want to use the text box for. Here's your emojis. This ruler measures points. So let's go back to a chart. This ruler measures points. So if you want to see how much points a certain move was, you can just pull out the ruler real quick. Be like, oh, from here, from this point to up here, that was 230 points. And that's what the ruler's for. Right here, this what is this? Stay in drawing mode, and what is this? Lock all drawing tools. Stay in drawing mode. Stay in drawing mode. If you have this stay in drawing mode on, every time you click a tool, right? You click the first here, but if you don't unclick it, it'll keep giving you the drawing until you unclick it. Or you click the arrow, I meant to say, you click your crosshair again. Then if you click, nothing will happen. But until you don't click that again, it's gonna always give it to you. Then you're just gonna have to come and delete everything. Right? Or let's say you have that auto drawing in, marked out 2 areas real quick, and then let's say by accident you clicked it again. What you can do is just press this, undo, boom, solved your problem, came back to the crosshair, and you got your 2 markups, and that was it. So there's a useful way to use this thing. Stay in drawing mode. I like staying in drawing mode. And yeah, so that's the basics of the tools of TradingView. I'm gonna say one more thing. If you're new, brand new, double click on your candle or find a way to come up to this chart setting on your candle so you can change your chart settings. I'm gonna screenshot this. Let me not screenshot this. Screenshot this or pause the video and change your body, white and black, borders, black, black, wick, black, black. Um, and then you're gonna come back here. Then you're gonna come to canvas. Find canvas is really important. And make sure you pause the video and change this to gradient and change the exact settings that I have here so that your chart looks like mine. White background, a little bit of blue. And yeah, so you have a nice chart and it's black and white candles, so you're not too emotionally tied to one side of the market. But I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Upload this video to YouTube, so anybody with questions, you can just DM me at $70 billion motion on Instagram. And yeah, if you're interested in joining my mentorship, just DM me. and like and subscribe to my channel. The support is really appreciated. All right, gang, I'm gonna stop this video here. Peace.